All right, you guys. So if you just watched, that was a video clip of what we now know of what kind of happened that day with Daunte Wright. So you can see Daunte going back into his vehicle, and apparently the officer wanted to pull out her taser, but she fired her weapon instead. So we now know that that she has resigned, and I believe the chief did as well since this accident. A lot of people are saying, how do you mistaken a taser for a gun? Well, I don't know, but we are going to talk about it, you guys. My name is Hamin Phillips, and you're watching Raw Topic.
Perfect.
Okay, you guys. So they are out there tonight riding. Let me play the audio of what's going on right now. So they're supposed to, hold on a second, they're supposed to have a curfew at 10 o'clock, I believe. So I don't think the curfew is in place yet, you guys, but they are already out in full effect. Now that they've seen the body cam, they want answers. They want to know why was a gun fired instead of a taser. We do know this police officer had about 26 years with the force. So for that mistake to have happened, we are very confused. What's up, everybody watching? What's up, Jamie? How you doing? April, how you doing? Thanks for joining. So let's talk about it, you guys. Let's talk about what's going on. What happened with Daunte Wright? I got a few video clips I would like to play, and then we can come back to what's going on with the riot. But this is messed up, you guys. This kind of reminds me of the Fruitville Station incident where the guy was face down at the subway and he was handcuffed, and then he was shot. And the officer said that he meant to pull a taser. So this kind of reminds you of that exact situation. What's up, Jan from Alabama? How you doing? Thanks for joining. Everybody else, could you drop your city and state? Drop it in the comment section. What city and state are you watching from? And let me know, are you watching from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter? Let me know. April says beyond messed up. Yeah, it's messed up. I mean, this kid, was only 20 years old. He had a kid of his own, a very adorable kid. Jamie said no accident. So, yeah, let's watch this riot or protest and see how this plays out. In the meantime, you guys, I want to play a video clip of Daunte Wright and what happened. So let me see if I can pull that clip up here.
Around 2 p.m. local time Sunday, police pulled over Wright. The police chief says they stopped Daunte Wright because he had an expired registration on his license plate. The released footage begins minutes into the stop and shows police walking up to the car And then Wright is seen stepping out of his vehicle. Police then tried to take Wright into custody after discovering he has an outstanding warrant. The video shows Wright begins to resist as cuffs are placed on him and he gets back into the vehicle.
So if you guys haven't seen that video, that's what happened. Here's a clip to what
As I
happened.
watched the video and listened to the officer's commands, it is my belief that the officer had the intention to deploy their taser, but instead shot Mr. Wright with a single bullet. This appears to me, from what I've viewed and the officer's reaction and distress immediately after, that this was an accidental discharge that resulted in the tragic death of Mr. Wright. The officer is currently on administrative leave.
Wright drove several blocks before hitting another vehicle, according to police. Police and medical personnel attempted life-saving measures following the crash, but Wright died at the scene.
I heard the police officer come to the window.
Wright's mother, Katie, told CNN affiliate Care TV she was on the phone with her son before the shooting. It's unclear to CNN how Katie Wright knew police had hung up the phone. Protests erupted in a suburb outside Minneapolis in the aftermath of the shooting. Hundreds taking to the streets Sunday night, clashing with police. The National Guard was also on the scene. The situation turned violent. Crowds marching toward the police department swarmed police cars and started destroying them. Police moved in to disperse the crowds. The chief of police also said bricks and frozen soda cans were thrown at officers, injuring one who was taken to the hospital. And while one group stayed at the police department, a second group of protesters went to a strip mall where businesses were broken into and looted.
I want to pause it for a minute. So we got a comment from April. She said, there is no excuse for what happened. A gun and taser are so different in so many ways. I mean, I agree with you, April. This lady has been on the force for 26 years. 26 years on the force, you think you would know which weapon you're pulling. Not only that, but the tasers they have a bright yellow handle so that, you don't make that mistake. When you're firing a gun and you're pulling a trigger, that discharge is a lot different than a discharge of a taser. So I'm still kind of confused as to how she made that mistake. I mean, that is a horrible mistake to make. I mean, deadly. And you can't come back from that mistake. That kid, he had a kid of his own and he's gone. That was a mistake that should not have happened, and it's terrible. Let's see. We got Jan Windwalker. No excuse for that kind of mistake. I mean, exactly. That's how I feel. I mean, maybe if you were a rookie and you've been on the force for like a month and you're nervous and this is like your first real, situation, I can understand. But 26 years on the force, how does this mistake happen when you've been, and they also say she was training another officer. So with that much experience, how do you make that kind of mistake? April said that that was all going on at the same time. Let's see, we got April also said, mistake my ASS. Jamie said, the placement on the belt, the weight of the weapon. I mean, exactly. The weight of a gun and the weight of a taser has got to be different. Has she been confused? She should have realized, look, this don't feel right. This feels heavy. Let me double check what I have. Even when you look at her body cam, you see the gun is clearly in sight of the camera. Did she not look down to see that she had a gun in her hand? I mean, it's so confusing as to how this happened. Let me play the video here.
I said this couldn't have happened at a worse time.
The city of Brooklyn Center is only about 10 miles from where former police officer Derek Chauvin is on trial for the killing of George Floyd. The chief of police says he released the footage to be transparent and became emotional when I asked what was on his heart.
I'm the leader of this department. They expect me to lead, create a safe city. That's what I'm trying to do. So that's it.
I hope you're not crying too.
Okay. And yeah, I'm emotional.
Adrian, for the officer who shot Daunte Wright, what is their status in the department? Are they still on active duty?
The officer who shot Daunte Wright is on administrative leave, but members of the community.
Okay, so I want to update you guys. She is no longer on administrative leave. She has resigned from her position, including the chief has also resigned. So that is the update. She is no longer with the force.
Are calling for her to be fired, and they're also asking, they say demanding, the chief of police in Brooklyn Center resign.
Wright's aunt spoke in an incredibly compelling interview with our colleague Don Lemon about her nephew, about what happened to him. Her words are nothing short of heartbreaking. Watch this.
Before I play the rest of this, you guys, Denise Melly, I'm saying that wrong, sorry. That don't sound right. I know I didn't say that right. But she said they both resigned, and that is correct. They did both resign. I want to thank you for joining the stream, Denise. You're watching from YouTube. She also said, I feel sorry for him. Gun weighed 2 pounds, taser 1 pound. I mean, true. And I don't even know if a taser weighs 1 pound. It might be even less than that. April said the trigger alone is different. And yeah, that is true as well. April said, since they resigned, I wonder what kind of package they got with that. Very interesting. With 26 years on the force, she had to got something pretty nice. I mean, she was probably going to retire in a couple years anyway, but that's probably why it made it easier for her to resign, is because she was on her way out anyway. And with 26 years on the force, she's got to have a pretty decent looking package, I'm imagining. You guys, I want to play the rest of this because now we're gonna listen to the aunt of Daunte Wright. But first, let me go back to the protest, and let's see what's going on with that protest real quick here.
Of the state statute 609.50, obstructing the process, which will be a constitutional crime.
Jamie just made a good point. She said, taking the safety off your gun, come on. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, she would have had to take that safety off. And when you're taking that safety off, well, do you not realize that's a gun you're about to fire? So I don't know, you guys. This is a strange one. But I like that point you just made, Jamie, the fact that she took that safety off. At that point, she had to realize that was a gun. Excuse me for a second. I just want to check my audio level. Let me know, you guys, if the video and audio are coming in clearly. Let me know if there's any issues with the sound of my microphone or anything like that. Let's see what else we got from April. She shouldn't get anything. Wow. Yeah. I mean, seeming that she calls a death, she technically, she probably, I think there's something where she probably won't, depending on the outcome of this investigation. So they could definitely deny her of a pension or anything like that if they find her to be guilty of this situation. I mean, I've heard stories like this where the pensions were not given out. April said exactly. Denise said, I would think they are shaped different. I mean, yeah, a gun and a taser. Yeah, I would think so as well. Thanks, Jamie, for letting me know the audio is good. Appreciate that. Thanks, Olga, for letting me know. Coming through crystal clear. Okay. You guys, I'm going to bring the audio back in for the protest. I just want to see what's going on with that real quick, and then I'm going to go back to that video we were watching. And we're going to hear the aunt talk about Daunte.
I'm going to go with...
So this, whoever, I think this is a Fox 6 that's holding the camera. They are shaky. Goodness gracious. I would rather be watching a live streamer at this point. Uh-oh. It's going down right here. Let me turn it up a little bit. Jamie said, I think officers should have to carry malpractice insurance like a doctor. Then taxpayers would not be paying for the lawsuits. Wow, Jamie, you're on fire. That's true, man. I agree with that as well. I think something's up with their sound. Their sound just went out on that protest. So it's not.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay. I think
Can you hear me?
Okay, they're back. Let's see what else we got. Denise says, has anything been said about the girl in the car and did he die from gunshot or crash? He definitely died from the gunshot itself. No one was hurt in the crash. As far as the girl, she's okay. She was screaming and everything like that. She was able to talk to the mother and told the mother what happened, that he was shot and not responding. They also instructed her to get off the phone.
Several warnings out
Hold
here.
on a second.
Sorry, it's a very fluid situation. They've moved the crowd.
Yeah, they made her get off the phone, and then the mother, I guess the mother hadn't seen his body.
And the law enforcement.
I don't know if she's even yet to see his body, from what it sounded like.
Probably going to start using some irritants here shortly. Telling the press.
Jamie said Cortez Rice is live. How's his live feed looking, Jamie?
To shield them from whatever comes their way.
Let me know. You can always shoot me the link. You can post the link and I'll check it out and see what's going on with that stream as well.
Remember that just yesterday the city council passed a motion banning police
That's smart. Denise said that's smart. Malpractice insurance.
But that rule does not apply to
Yep, I agree.
law enforcement organizations out here.
Officers should have to they need to take more responsibility for their actions, for the mistakes they're making. I mean, a person just lost their life. You can't just call that a mistake. I mean, that is just terrible that happened.
They want charges, and in fact, they want city authorities
Let me turn this up real quick here.
And to fire them. So out here tonight, a very active scene, several warnings given, but the protesters don't seem to be going anywhere. Kelsey, Randy?
You guys share this out. If you haven't, share this to your favorite groups. Share it to your profiles. Let's get this out there, you guys. So, show some love, react to the video, and share it out. You guys, share. Now they're saying it's an unlawful assembly.
Brian. Yeah, I think this tree is good right now, just because then you're behind their line.
So they got this reporter out here. I've never seen a big media company out here like this. Normally they're way back, but this reporter is in the midst of the chaos. Look at they're getting shot at with rubber bullets. Pepper balls. If you guys never been shot with a pepper ball, it is no joke. I mean, you don't want to. They're heavily armed. I mean, heavily. There's a lot of police officers out there, you guys. They are heavy. They are ready for anything that goes down, it looks like. Wow. What do you call that? Flashbangs? They're trying to get that crowd back. I can hear them saying F-12.
Yes, absolutely. Do you feel comfortable putting light on me or no?
No.
Okay.
Violation of Minnesota State Statute 60905, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you'll be arrested. If you continue to
Jamie, you want to go down there, huh?
or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute.
If anybody wants to go down with Jamie, let her know in the in the comment section that you're willing to go down there, because it is going down in Minneapolis right now.
Media and press, leave the area now.
They're telling the media and the press to leave the area. That means they're about to start deploying tear gas. They don't want to hit the media or the press, so they're giving them a warning by saying leave the area now. That means they are about to start to really let go of some tear gas, pepper balls, rubber bullets. It's about to go down. And the media has that. They're giving them that warning. Their sound feed is going in and out. I really want to show you guys more of that video with the aunt talking about Daunte.
Kelsey, well, they are pushing this crowd northbound, but the
Hold on.
crowd isn't going anywhere. The crowd is not dispersing. They've given several warnings. They're also telling, as I think you heard, they're telling press and media to get out of the area. They have been letting off chemical irritants, giving warning after warning. I have witnessed protesters throwing water bottles. Fireworks have gone off. So this is unlawful, they're saying, unlawful assembly. So while we are still the throwing of items at the National Guard and at this line of State Patrol, they're saying that is unlawful, and that is why they are dispersing the chemical irritants. Randy, Kelsey?
So it sounds like from what the reporter just said is they're calling this an unlawful assembly, even though they know that.
I would say at this point they outnumber the demonstrators that are out here.
Wow.
And this started about 30 minutes ago, that this State Patrol line, you can see them in the neon vests, that they're the ones that are pushing forward. They came in just before we started the 9 o'clock newscast, and they started pushing northbound. They now outnumber the demonstrators, Randy.
Okay, wow. So she's saying now the law enforcement outnumbers the demonstrators. That is not good. Now the law enforcement seems to be moving.
Yes, I witnessed things being thrown at the National Guard and the State Patrol. Sorry, it's a little hard to hear out here. I can hear you guys, but they continue to give the demonstrators these warnings. Yes, I've seen things thrown. at law enforcement, and also I witnessed a laser that was being used to try and distract the guys that were on the roof here.
Which will be an additional crime.
So, wow, that's a lot of law enforcement.
Yeah, of course, Randy, those are flashbangs. They use that to hopefully disperse, kind of scare the demonstrators so that they disperse. Those are what they use early on. So they start with the flashbangs, and that's what we saw tonight. They started with the flashbangs, and then they start to go to the chemical irritants once that doesn't work. And I will say, Randy, those who are throwing items, those are not the majority of the demonstrators. And we've talked to many demonstrators out here today who say, don't throw things, please don't throw things. So there are the agitators, and then there are those who just want to be out here and exercise their First Amendment.
Wow. So they're trying to push the crowd back with flashbangs. Like she said, they're using their First Amendment right to be there. Now, when the curfew goes into play, I believe they said the curfew.
I can't say for other parts of Brooklyn Center. I can say that the way that the police department is set up, there's kind of two sides, and they've pushed both sides into one now. So we're all on one side now. They've pushed us all northbound. We're over by the Dollar Tree, which was damaged last night. So we're getting pushed back to that shopping center.
Okay, so I hear them chanting. Boots on the ground. We're here to shut it down. It looks like.
Yes, yep, we feel them in our nose and our eyes, Randy. So there are some irritants being used tonight.
Okay, so Denise said that from what she's seen, they're looting the Dollar Tree. So looting is happening as well, it sounds like.
Brooklyn Center looks like a completely different city today. I mean, after 2 nights of protests and looting, there's not many stores left to hit, especially over here by the police department and the major shopping center off Shingle Creek. So I think if you live in Brooklyn Center, you would say it looks like a different city today. Yeah, they're saying that you're in violation of state statute, and if you do not cease the unlawful behavior, you will be arrested.
Obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime.
Wow. So it looks like it's about to get real crazy if they don't disperse real soon.
If you're looking at the same one I'm looking at, Kelsey, it's a National Guard vehicle. So the two agencies out here right now are the State Patrol, that's who you see in the yellow vest, and then the National Guard. They are mainly on the perimeter of the Brooklyn Center Police Department. So you've got 2 agencies out here tonight. It just got very quiet.
So from what I'm seeing, it definitely looks like that law enforcement is outnumbering the
so
protesters.
Hard to tell, Randy. We've
It's a lot.
Unfortunately covered so many of these in the last year. We can't know, and every night the tactic is different. This is a different tactic they're using tonight than last night. Last night they distracted the protesters by splitting them off onto 2 sides and then slowly moving their line forward and dispersing them. It's hard to, tonight they've pushed them all to one side, and you can see it looks like they're holding their line right now, but it's hard to say what they'll do next. They've given several warnings, and they've also given the press and the media several warnings, so that makes me think that this maybe is not just a stand and hold your ground situation.
So now they're chanting, "Whose street? Our street." I'm expecting that this crowd's probably going to get a little bit bigger pretty soon. Let me cut to the video that I was playing with the auntie of Daunte Wright.
Everybody's hurt. This is a young man that had life in front of him. He had a...
Let me pause it for a minute. If you guys can see, I mean, this was a young kid. I mean, he was young, but he did have a kid of his own, and I believe that could be the kid next to him, maybe not. But I've seen the images of him and his son, and he has a beautiful little boy. And this was a young man, and this is terrible that he lost his life this way. Let's continue watching here.
How can I explain that? I can't explain it. My family is hurt. You've seen his mother. And for 1 minute, y'all don't forget that my brother, he's there as well, his father. This is not a broken home. This is not a broken home. They've been together over 23 years. Over 23 years, they've been together. My brother has been there. Please do not disregard his feelings because my brother is in pain.
What went through your mind when you heard the police chief say that the officer fired the gun by mistake? She intended to use her taser.
You don't want to know. You really don't want to know what I felt. But I'm going to tell you like this.
And then next right.
You know the difference from a fully loaded pistol versus a stun gun. You know the difference. And if you're a police officer, you should know that. I think that camera, I saw she held that gun out in front of her for a little while. You mean to tell me she didn't see it? But let me ask y'all something. How would y'all feel if y'all got the call that was your nephew, if that was your son, if that was your brother? How would y'all feel? And then to sit here and people are trying to drag my nephew's name through the dirt, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. He didn't deserve to die. My nephew was a damn good kid. He loved his family and we loved him. Accident? An accident? No, come on now. Everybody in this world saw that gun. You mean to tell me you thought it was a taser? I've owned over a 20,000 volt taser. They don't feel nothing like a gun. Nothing like a gun. So y'all tell me, how would y'all feel if y'all got that call? That was my nephew. That was my blood. That was like my heart. My brother is my heart. Katie is my heart. They took my man's life from him. My great-nephew has to now grow up, not even knowing, not even being able to touch his father. You tell me, is it all right to take somebody's life over a misdemeanor warrant just for some weed? You got these politicians out here smoking weed. They ain't dead. You got all these people that just shot up the man that killed them Asian women. May they rest in soul. May they rest in peace. You got the people at the grocery store. You got the people in Bryan, Texas. You mean to tell me all three of them is still living? But my nephew is dead? Because now they want to use the justification of it was a mistake. You don't mistake a stun gun from a gun. You don't mistake that. If I made a mistake like that, I'll be in the jail cell. They'll be trying to put me under it.
I'm going to pause it real quick. She made a good point. I mean, if us, any one of us, a citizen, were to make that kind of mistake, we would be in jail. I mean, period. They, it seems like law enforcement, they catch breaks where they don't see the repercussions of their mistakes. However, if a citizen made that mistake, they'd be locked up for it. So I feel like the crime, it has to fit the punishment. And that was just a mistake. That mistake cannot be undone. Let me go back to the video here.
This not fair. We got several police officers and all in our family. I don't have nothing bad to say about them, but what I got to say is she needs to pay for what she did to my family. My family's blood is on their hands. My brother and my sister is hurting. How do we put life back together after this? Some people say, oh, it's God's plan. That was not God's plan. There's no peace in this. Say his name. Keep saying his name. My nephew did not deserve this. Daunte Wright did not deserve this. Katie Wright, Aubrey Wright, they did not deserve this.
Joining us now, CNN law enforcement analyst Charles Ramsey and CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson. Chief, what do you say to that? I mean, what do you say to Naisha Wright, who says, my nephew, Daunte Wright, did not deserve this? What do you say to that anguish, to that exhaustion we're hearing from her?
There is nothing you can say that'll make up for the pain and the loss that she feels right now. Absolutely nothing you can say. I've taken a hard look at the video to see exactly what took place. And she's right. I mean, there is a difference between a handgun and a taser, assuming they're using the model taser, not just in the weight and the size of it, but also the taser, which is a conducted electrical device, has a bright yellow handle on it. And when you look at the tape, you'll see one of the officers on their weak side. You see this flash of yellow. That's their taser. Again, another way to distinguish that from the handgun. But there were some tactical errors that were made in this, which I can get into if you would like. But there is absolutely nothing you can say that will lessen the pain that she feels and also that community.
Joey Jackson, why on earth was he even taken out of the car, told to get out of the car? I mean, the details that we know now for expired tags that the police chief of Brooklyn Center admitted yesterday in the press conference he and his staff knew there was a 2 or 3 month delay in getting those tags from the DMV, even if you'd already bought them because of COVID. Guess what happened to me when I got pulled over for expired tags, right? It's unbelievable that this aggressive tactic was taken from the beginning for that.
Yeah, it really is. Good morning, Poppy, John, and Chief Ramsey. Listen, I think the answer to your question lies in something we call discretion. And when you're on the street and you're doing your job, it's important that you exercise that discretion in a way that favors life, in a way that values the sanctity of life. We've heard that testimony, right, just last week from the very chief who is in charge of that department, talking about the values of the department and what they should instill, talking about the work and the outreach they need to do to the community. And you look at that, and it's totally counter to that. And I think there has to be some recognition, Poppy, and understanding that at the end of the bullet is a person whose life had meaning, value, and significance. Daunte Wright, a son, a brother, a nephew, a friend, so many things to so many. And so, you know, it's part of a whole larger discussion.
Yep, he made a whole lot of valid points. I mean, this was a person, a son, a father, and his life meant nothing to these officers. Apparently, if they couldn't take more time to make sure they were discharging the proper weapon. So let's go back to the riots or the protests, sorry. And let's see what's going on with that real quick here. I do want to show another video to you guys on another recent pullover that is pretty controversial of a lieutenant in the Army, and he is suing the department for this situation. Let's see if I can cut to that video real quick here.
Traffic stop at BP.
And where you heard
Going back. Felony traffic stop.
Put your hands out the window! Felony traffic stop, 1836. Put your hands out the window! Turn the vehicle off! Put your hands out the window!
How many occupants?
All units 1013.
How many occupants are in the vehicle?
What's going on?
How many occupants are in your vehicle?
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on?
Open the door slowly and step out.
All right, I just want to say something here. Man, you notice how they drew the weapons immediately? I mean, what did this dude do that is so serious that they got to draw weapons, and then they want you to step out after they look so aggressive and so reckless? They expect you to just willingly step out of the vehicle, knowing that you might just get shot. And this dude is like, man, I'm driving home from work. I serve this country. Like, what is going on? And he's asking him, what is the problem? What's going on? So let's see. Let's keep watching here.
Open the door.
I'm not getting out the vehicle. What's going on?
Get out the car. Open the door slowly and get out.
What's going on?
Get out of the car now. Open the door and get out of the car.
Hold still, hold. Keep your hands outside the window. Keep your hands outside the window.
My hands are right here. What's going on?
Get out of the car now.
Get out of the car.
What's going on?
Get out of the car now.
You guys share this video out. Share it to your groups.
Get out of the car now.
Share it to your profile.
This is how I'm treated.
Yo, what? Guess what? I'm a veteran too. I don't know, babe. Get out of the car.
Let's get a like and a love train going right now, you guys. Show some love to this video.
What's going on?
Let's get some likes and loves going.
Ride the lightning, son.
I'm sorry, what?
Get out of the car now.
What's going on?
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car.
Sir, just get out of the car. Work with us and we'll talk to you. Get out the car.
You received an order. Obey it.
I'm honestly afraid to get out. Can
Jamie said they're scaring me and I'm at home.
Get out.
Look at this guy.
Get out now.
I have not committed any crimes.
You're being stopped for a traffic violation. You're not cooperating at this point.
This guy has a gun to his face.
You're being detained, okay? You're being detained for obstruction of justice.
This is ridiculous, man.
I do not have to get out.
They've got to have better ways of doing this.
Really?
Get your hands.
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car.
Get your hands off me, please. Get your hands off me.
You know what?
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me.
Back up,
I
Daniel.
didn't do anything. Don't do that.
Sir,
get out of the car
Don't
now.
do that.
Hey, sir,
Get out of the car now.
Don't do. I'm trying to talk to you.
Okay.
I'm trying to
I'm gonna
talk.
talk. Get out. Just get out of my
Relax.
car.
Can you please
Get out.
relax? Can
Get
you
out.
please relax?
Get out of the car right now. Now.
This is not how you treat a vet. I'm actively serving this country, and this is how you're gonna treat me.
Back up, Daniel.
I didn't do any. Whoa, hold on.
This man is Afro Latino, by the way.
Watch it.
Actively serving. And they just look at they just maced this man. If he had he not had his glasses on, there's no telling.
Get out of the car now. Car now.
Sir, just get out of the car.
I'm trying to breathe.
Get out of the car now.
That's up. That's
Man,
really
it's messed up how they do this guy.
Get out of the car and get on the ground now.
This guy serves the country.
I don't even want to reach for my seatbelt. Can you?
I wouldn't want to reach for anything if they're acting like that. Look how aggressive they are.
Listen, take off your seatbelt and get out of the car.
Look, I'm just gonna please.
You're gonna do what you're told. Get out of the car.
Look.
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the.
Look.
Take your seatbelt off.
Look, my hands are out.
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car.
My hands are out.
Don't reach in there, Daniel. Don't reach in there.
My hands are out. Please. Please. Look. This is really messed up. My dog is in the back. My dog is choking right now.
Get out of the car. Take your seatbelt off. What are you, a specialist, corporal? What are you?
I'm a lieutenant.
Lieutenant, get out of the car. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. You made this way more difficult than it had to be. You just complied. Get out of the car.
I'm reaching for my seatbelt.
Fine. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. Straight on the ground. Straight onto the ground.
Ma'am. Is your commanding officer available?
Down. Let's go.
Is your commanding
Let's
officer
go.
available?
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Please talk to me
Get on the
about
ground
what's
now.
going on.
Get on the ground. You're getting sprayed again. Get on the ground.
Can you please talk to me about what's
Get
going
on the ground. Get on the ground now.
I gotta pause it for a minute. Why can't they just tell the guy what's going on? I mean, dude, do you not have a right to know why you're getting pulled over these days? The dude is saying what is going on. Why don't they just tell the dude why they're pulling him over? And why are they so aggressive? And they're doing too much. And a lot of law enforcement, they just need to calm down sometimes. I feel like they escalate the situation more than anything.
Can you please talk to me
Get on
about
the
what's
ground.
going
Get on the
on?
ground.
Can you please talk to me about what's
Yes, sir.
going on?
You're not.
Can you please talk to me about what's going on? Why am I being treated like this? Why?
You're not cooperating. Get on the ground.
Why am I being treated like this? This is really messed up. This is really messed up.
Sir, well, just
This is really, this is up.
Sir.
Up.
Sir.
You know this is up.
Wow.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out.
All right, let's go back to the protests and see what's going on with that. Let me turn the volume on here.
The number of people in this crowd has fluctuated greatly through the day. When this started around 5:30, it was a smaller crowd, less than 100, and then it grew through the evening to several hundred. It was several hundred up until they started making these announcements. So we have certainly lost a lot of people when they started saying, disperse, go home, you are in violation of state statute, this is unlawful assembly. We have seen a lot of people leave. I would say maybe now there's 200, maybe.
$200. Huh. So it's almost 10 o'clock, so curfew will definitely be in place pretty soon.
Well, as soon as they start throwing... Right, but as soon as they start throwing things at law enforcement, that's when law enforcement's going to respond. And while not everyone in this crowd is throwing things, and not everyone in this crowd is pushing that barrier, the ones who have done that, they're going to respond to that action. It's the same announcement again and again, and then they also were saying, media and press, you need to leave the area. Obviously, it's our job, and it's very important for us to bring you these images. We are trying to remain safe, so for those watching at home who want to make sure we're being safe, we have security with us.
I'm surprised that media is still out here. There it goes. Law enforcement is starting to run at the protesters. I think they're
Lots of people running.
flashbangs are going off.
They're making arrests.
They're making
arrests.
That's what I thought.
They're making arrests. They're making arrests. Didn't seem like chemical. Yeah, they're making arrests. Brian, can you zoom in? So they came in quickly. That's where you saw the crowd largely disperse and run, and they formed a circle around them, and they are clearly making some arrests. Can you see that?
Yep, they are just starting to I want to know what are they arresting him for right now?
It's so hard to tell, Kelsey, especially with the lights that they're flashing towards us. It's really hard to tell. But they moved really quickly. A lot of those demonstrators ran, but I could see that they got some under their control. And it looks like that they are taking those away right now. It's hard to see with the lights that they're shining on us. So I'm giving you the best that I can.
I want to know what grounds and what basis are they arresting as of right now? It's not curfew yet, and they're still.
It's hard to say, Randy. I apologize.
They're exercising their First Amendment right. So I want to know what are they being arrested for right now. I'm very interested to know on what grounds they have to arrest them right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they've also got a sound machine out here. They've got a sound machine out here which they use. It's a very uncomfortable sound, and that usually disperses the crowd. So I don't know if they're getting ready to use that, but I can see it in my view now.
This is the Minnesota State Patrol. You are in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you will be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and/or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime.
Denise says it's lots of live streamers out there. Yeah, it almost seems like there's more streamers and media than protesters. I mean, all I'm seeing is people with their cameras and phones and everything like that. Throwing water bottles at police. Jan said, didn't curfew start at 9? I thought I was under the impression it started at 10. So if it started at 9, then I guess maybe they can arrest based on the grounds of that. But I was under the impression curfew started at 10. So let me turn this up, see what's going on here. What do you guys think about everything going on with this protest right here, as far as the arrest being made? And let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are. And again, you guys, let me know where you're watching from. Are you on YouTube, Facebook? Give me your city and state. And let me know what you guys have for dinner tonight. Jamie said yesterday's curfew started at 7. Okay. I don't think it was 7 today, though. A little bit later today. They are heavily, they got a heavy force out tonight, you guys. They are ready, it looks like. Look at that. Look at the amount of armed forces they got. It's got to be a lot from other counties and districts. They had to have gotten a lot more help for tonight. They're saying there's more law enforcement than protesters tonight, so.
Yeah, we're good. There's no demonstrators up against the line anymore. Now they're kind of like spread out in this parking lot, which is going to be an interesting situation. Yeah. No, but I'm with Brian.
You will be violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime.
Denise is watching from Oregon. Appreciate that. You're on YouTube, it looks like. And Denise also said today's curfew is 10 p.m. And that's what I thought. I thought it was 10 p.m. as well. So I want to know what basis did they have for the arrest that they made so far. If it's not even curfew, what is the basis of the arrest? It almost seems like an unlawful arrest. If you guys are not following Raw Topic, I want you to go ahead and use the command !notify. If you're on Facebook, you can use that command and you'll be notified the next time I'm live. That does not work for YouTube or any other platform. It only works on Facebook, !notify. From what I heard so far, they started looting one of the Family Dollar stores. So if you guys know of any other stores that have been looted, let me know in the comment section what you guys heard or seen so far.
Right, they're holding their line at the moment, Randy, but we've seen them do this, right? They push further north, they hold their line, then they give some more warnings, there might be some flashbangs, and then they push further again. And we have seen the crowd disperse. The interesting point now, as you saw, now where their line is held, now it's opening up to a strip mall parking lot. So where do they go from here, right? A lot of the demonstrators have scattered throughout this parking lot, so where do they go from here? Where do law enforcement go from here? Do they just hold that line there where they've got buildings on either side? I guess we're going to find out. What you saw just a bit ago was all of a sudden they moved quickly. They let off some flashbangs, presumably to distract, and then they moved in quick. They created a barrier on both sides, and they were able to catch some people, and it looks like, from what I can see through their flashing lights, they are making those arrests right now.
This is the Minnesota State Patrol. You are in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you will be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and/or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating.
Yeah, and you can see our camera was just on these. There are some demonstrators here. They're a couple hundred yards away from the current line, but they look like they're standing there, and they don't look like they're dispersing. So you heard that warning again, media, press, leave the area. So they continue to give warnings, likely because we will be seeing more arrests.
No, they're going to be doing tear gas pretty soon. They're trying to warn the media, like, hey, if you're media or press, get out of here, because once we start shooting rubber bullets and tear gas, you will not be exempt.
Yes. I've seen no local leaders, no state leaders out here today. That was about 10 o'clock last night that the Attorney General and the Mayor of Brooklyn Center came out. That was when there was only about a few dozen left from where we were, where they came out and they said, you have every right to peacefully be here and protest, but we want you to go home tonight. We don't want you to be arrested. We don't want there to be trouble. We want you to go home. And they even told them, you can come back tomorrow, and clearly they have. Now, I will remind our viewers that the Brooklyn Center City Council voted to not allow Brooklyn Center police to use any rubber bullets, any chemical irritants, but that is not who is out here right now. This is State Patrol right now who's using those flashbangs and some chemical irritants and making those arrests right now. So.
Oh, okay. So it's State Patrol. Okay, so it's not the local law enforcement. Looks like it's snowing over there. From what I'm seeing so far, it looks like a peaceful protest. I mean, I'm just hearing chanting. I don't see grounds for arrest from what I'm seeing. I'm curious when it hits 10 o'clock if they're going to start to go real heavy on making arrests. So we got about 15 minutes to find out what's going to happen at 10 o'clock. I agree with Jamie. Yeah, that was a sneaky thing to do to say, hey, you know, you guys can't use. Hold on a second. Let me turn that down. They're saying you can't use tear gas, you can't use this and that. So they say, oh, okay, well, we'll just bring in state troopers in and they can do it. That's messed up.
Obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime. Media and press, leave the area. Media and press need to leave the area. Disperse to the door.
Yeah, the protesters did not like that. They're booing at them. I will tell you, earlier today when this started about 5:30, we heard from a lot of community activists who were praising the resignation of Officer Kim Potter. They were praising the resignation of the police chief, but they said it doesn't go far enough. They would like to see Kim Potter prosecuted, and that is what they are demanding down here tonight. We are expected to get a decision on any criminal charges tomorrow from the Washington County Attorney, but these protesters down here tonight say resignation is just not enough.
Wow. Okay, so I guess they're waiting on the decision for if they're going to prosecute her tomorrow. And I'm wondering if they decide not to prosecute her, what is going to happen out here on the streets? Are they going to go really hard with the protests or the rioting, the looting?
Yeah, and this is
So
what we see happen.
I think the
every
city's
night.
also going to take that into factor, and they might want to prosecute just to calm down people because people might get real pissed off if there's no charges filed.
It does disperse people. They just did a flashbang into the parking lot there, so they're maybe going to start moving forward, or they're just trying to disperse them. But this is very typical of what we've seen every other night.
Imagine that. They just changed that law not too long ago in the state of Minnesota so they can peel our shit back while you motherfuckers is acting dumb. Ain't no more. We not going. Y'all keep sucking us off. How does this go down in history? You couldn't even get your own motherfucking department under control.
This is the Minnesota State Patrol. You are in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you'll be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime.
So there you go. They're warning the media once again to leave the area. It's almost 10 o'clock, 10 minutes to 10. I got a feeling they're going to start deploying the rubber bullets and tear gas real soon here to break this crowd up. They try to give the media and press plenty of warnings. So I'm wondering what's going to happen in the next, and at 10 o'clock, and if the media are going to stick around to see. Because I've never seen media stick around this long or be in the midst of the chaos. Not the big, not big media. So I'm quite surprised they're actually still there. So it sounds like they're all chanting Daunte Wright. I don't think they're gonna go home no time soon. Looks like they're gonna put up they're gonna stand their ground tonight. It looks like, and it looks like it's starting to snow. So this is gonna be quite interesting to see how this is gonna play out here. Here comes another warning.
If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you'll be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and/or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime.
Media and press, you are directed to leave the area. Media and press, leave the area now.
I think it's about to go down real quick here. You can see this guy is pointing his weapon.
What's this car doing?
They're going to start deploying rubber bullets soon. I still can't believe the media's out there this long. So I got to give them props for not being afraid of what's about to happen here. Because I've seen this firsthand. Law enforcement will not care if you're media. They will tear gas whoever is in the area. And it sounds like rubber bullets or pepper balls are getting fired off right now.
It is difficult with these lights, Kelsey. I think that they are trying to make more arrests. I will tell you that the scene, just to kind of reset here, the scene is ever-changing out here. Several hundred were out here no more than an hour ago, and now we've got 3 dozen that I can see. The tactic has worked to push them and disperse them, and so what you have left are just a few dozen. There are some that continue to go up to the line. You can see that line continues to move. As I mentioned earlier, I just don't know what the play is here with this large parking lot on one side and the protesters very spread out, those that are left. Do they continue making arrests? I don't know what the play is here, but they continue to give those warnings and they slowly continue to move forward, as we have seen some protesters go right up to that line and have a word with these State Patrol troopers. Oh, I'm about a block away from the Brooklyn Center Police Department on Humboldt here. We're right across from the Dollar Tree and this shopping center where there was quite a bit of damage last night and a small fire at the Dollar Tree. This started about 5:30 with an organized protest. We heard from a lot of familiar faces, a lot of community activists who were praising the resignation of former Officer Kim Potter and the police chief, but they were calling for more than that. They were calling for criminal charges, but they were very happy that the city really came to their demands, and their demands were to be fired. Of course, resignation is not what they wanted, but now they're wanting criminal charges. Now, about an hour ago is when they started to throw things at the National Guard that's holding the line on the Brooklyn Center Police Department. They started letting off fireworks, water bottles, and they were pressing up against that fence, shaking that fence. And that's when they gave several warnings before they started letting off flashbangs. The flashbangs came first, and then when that didn't work at dispersing the crowd, they started letting off those chemical irritants, Randy, Kelsey.
This is the Minnesota State Patrol. You are in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior...
So much smaller, Kelsey. And I will say that if you take a look at these individuals, these people aren't wearing gas masks. They're all black, which we do see with many demonstrators that were holding the front line about an hour ago. So these individuals are... it looks casual almost, you know. I think because they have this open space over here, they're spread out. I don't think they feel threatened. They're far enough away from the law enforcement officers. But yeah, it's a completely different feeling than it was even an hour ago, where we had a couple of hundred demonstrators out here. Now we're left with 3 dozen. And if you can hear that, there's even some cars parked on the street here, blocking the street, that are playing music. So
So they just like, they getting comfortable. They got the music going, they chilling, they chanting, and they're outnumbered right now, but it looks like they're trying to stand their ground. So
It's so hard to say, Randy. I can speak to what happened last night, and what happened last night is they continued to push forward. They used chemical irritants, they used flashbangs to push that crowd further away from the Brooklyn Park Police Department. And like you're seeing tonight, the crowd disperses as that happens. The crowd gets smaller and smaller and smaller every time they push forward. And what we saw last night is somewhere between 9 and 10, they just stopped pushing forward and they waited them out. And what we were left with by 10 o'clock was 24 protesters. And that is when we saw Attorney General Keith Ellison and the mayor of Brooklyn Center come out and talk to those protesters. So it's hard to say where this goes from here if they continue moving that line and if they try and make more arrests. I would say it would be pretty hard for them to make arrests right now just because the space between them and the protesters that are left. When they made those arrests in the last hour, they were very close to those protesters and there was a huge crowd. So it was much easier for them to loop around them, create a barrier around them, and start taking individuals into custody.
So it's 10 o'clock. It's officially curfew should be enforced. But like she said, it's going to be hard for them to make arrests. I think I agree with her on that because of the positioning of everybody and the state troopers. But I'm interested to know, what they plan on doing here as far as the state troopers. If they are going to start making arrests or what.
If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you'll be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime. Media, you need to leave the area. Media, leave the area now.
Jamie says, sounds like the cop that shot Jacob Blake is going back to work. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that he's now his administrative leave is complete, and that he's going back to work. I hope he's going to do desk duty for a while, because 7 times to the back, I mean, that was really excessive. With his kids in the car, yeah, I was not happy about the fact that he was not charged, if you guys want to know my opinion. What is up with that? What's up with that bus? Are they taking some state troopers away, or are they displacing them to the other areas of the city, I wonder? Or what's going on here? They are up to something, that's for sure. They're probably going to try to go behind the protesters, and then they're going to have some state troopers in the front and then some in the back, and then they're probably going to start making some arrests. I think that's why they're starting to load up some state troopers on that bus. Here's another warning.
Which will be an additional crime. Media and press, leave the area and disperse to the north. Media and press, disperse to the north. Do it now.
So they're warning the media and press again to get out of the area. So I got a feeling they're going to start making some arrests real soon here. It's 10:06, and they haven't moved in to make any arrests yet. So I think they're trying to get themselves in position to do so. They've also been warning media and press quite a few times to get out of the area. So I think they're going to start deploying tear gas and making arrests real soon if the protesters don't fall back. And as we can see, it looks like the protesters are outnumbered by the state troopers. So I'm interested to see how this is going to play out here. So, Jamie, you think the bus is for the people that get arrested? Because it looks like I saw state troopers get on that bus, but yeah, it's not. It's very. I mean, yeah, they would definitely use a bus to house people for arrest.
This is the Minnesota State Patrol. You are in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you'll be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and/or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime. Press and media, disperse to the north. Press and media, disperse to the north.
There's another warning for press and the media to disperse to the north. So they are trying. They're up to something. The flee and felon rule. Well, I can't go to that link at the moment, but if you can explain what it is that you found here regarding the fleeing felon rule, let me know what that is about. Because as far as I know, they're not supposed to shoot at a moving vehicle.
This is the Minnesota State Patrol. You are in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you will be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and/or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime. Media and press, leave the area and disperse to the north. Media and press, leave the area and disperse to the north.
So they're continuing to give out warnings to media and press to leave the area. 10:12. So the 12 minutes after curfew, and they haven't made any arrests yet. So I'm trying to. I mean, I'm really interested in what their plan is here as far as what they're gonna do, because these protesters are not backing down. Even the media ain't listening. I mean, the media is still there, so I'm interested as to what they plan on doing next here. Looks like to me a peaceful protest. I don't see anything being thrown, anything crazy that the protesters are doing. They got music going. They're chanting. So far to me, it just looks like a peaceful protest. By the way, I do not own the rights to this music, just in case I get dinged for the music that they're playing in the stream. Somebody cut the music, so I'm wondering why.
This is the Minnesota State Patrol. You are in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably,
Ryan, Ohio protest says that the Columbus, Ohio police headquarters have been temporarily breached. So I don't know anything about that, but that's what's going on in Ohio. media seems to be sticking around. I think they want to know just as much as I want to know is what do they have planned? Like what are they going to do here? It's clearly after 10 o'clock. It's 10:15, and the protesters are not backing down. Jay the Boss says another black man murdered. Rest in peace, Daunte. Thanks for joining the stream, Jay, from YouTube. Let me know, you guys, in the comment section what platform are you watching from? I'm multi-streaming today to Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope. So let me know which platform are you on right now.
This is the Minnesota State Patrol. You are in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609-705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you'll be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and/or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime. Media, disperse to the north. Leave the area now. Media and press, leave the area and disperse to the north.
So they're still putting out the warnings to the media and press to leave. At this point, I don't think anybody's taking them seriously. I mean, the protesters are still out there. The streamers are still out there. The media is still out there. It just seems like all talk right now. I mean, people want to see it go down. I mean, they ain't buying it. They ain't budging. They're gonna stand their ground. It looks like they got all these stores boarded up. Look at that. All the stores are boarded up. All these stores in the shop behind them, they look to be boarded up. Looks like to me the protester crowd seems to be getting a little bit bigger. They had the bus come, and the bus looks like, I think the bus took away some of the state troopers. So I don't know if they plan on repositioning them somewhere else. But as of right now, I'm not seeing the protesters backing down. They're not hearing what they're trying to say.
Okay. Randy, a few more people have come close up. You can see more of a line forming now. One or two of them have umbrellas to block any irritants or that might be thrown. But really, such a small crowd out here now compared to what we saw a couple hours ago.
Obstructing the legal process, which will be an additional crime.
You can hear that announcement that we have heard again and again throughout the night. You need to leave the area or you will be arrested. The problem that I pointed out just a bit ago is how do they're pretty distanced from them right now, and it's a smaller crowd. So my presumption is that they're just going to hold this line and wear these protesters out. My colleague Karen Scullen is on the other side of those flashing lights, and she said law enforcement has started to leave already. So I'm presuming that the play now is just to wear these individuals out. There's not enough left that it's probably.
I kind of agree with the reporter saying. I mean, I feel like the crowd is starting to dwindle, and at this point, the state troopers are just trying to wait it out and try not to use any kind of irritants and try to just tire these protesters out, and because they're not making any arrests. It's 10:23. They're clearly not abiding to the curfew, so I don't think they're trying to make any arrests. I think they just want to tire everyone out. Yeah, Jan, that seems to be something I was thinking about too when I seen that bus. She said, "Are they taking the cops around to the back of the protesters to cattle them?" So yeah, I think they're trying to trap them in. I seen them. Let's see. Let me turn that down a little bit. So yeah, I seen a bus come, and I seen a good chunk of state troopers hop on that bus. So my first thought was, when I seen that, was that they were gonna do cattle them. So either we lost the feed here, or the news media feed. Well, they're still live, it looks like, but I think they lost their feed. So, yeah, I guess we'll wait. Okay, it's coming back. They're having trouble with their feed. And now I'm getting no volume from, okay, there it is. I'm really surprised the media is hanging in there this long. I thought they would have left by now. So I'm surprised they are sticking it out. I think the reason for that is because of the live streamers. Live streamers, they're out there. They're in the thick of it. They got the masks. They got their what you call it, the respirators. So they stick it out. Like they stick out for hours. And I think media, big media, I think they're realizing that if they don't start getting into the thick of this stuff, more people are going to be just watching live streamers feed because it's more in your face, IRL. It's in real life. And media, they have, they don't really want to stick around. They want to talk a little bit and film for a little bit and get up out of there. So I think maybe some of these media outlet companies are starting to realize they need to get in the thick of it as well, because live streamers are blowing them out of water when it comes to the content right now.
Okay, gotcha.
What's up, Kristen? This is Fox 6, actually. So this is big media streaming, and I'm very surprised that they're out here as long as they have been out here. They've been streaming for a while. Normally, like I said, they stream for about 20 minutes and they're out of there, but they've been out here for a good over an hour, I believe. So I'm really surprised they're still out here shooting. If anyone else knows of any other streams going on right now regarding the protesting or anything, shoot me a link and I'll check it out, and we can see what's going on. We can kind of bounce around to different streams that are going on with the live streamers, but you guys got to give me a link and I'll look at it.
This is the Minnesota State Patrol. You are in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you will be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and/or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime.
Oh, yeah, I like Unicorn Riot. I like Cortez Rice as well, but you guys got to give me a link because I'm live streaming right now, and I can't go and look for links. I can't go and do all that. So you guys got to give me the link. If you give me a link, I'll check it out. So I'm real interested in what they are waiting to do here. I mean, yeah, I think they're using that strategy of just letting that crowd die down and waiting for people to start going home. It just don't look like that state troopers are going to try and make a move. Although I thought they would come from the backside because of the bus that picked up a few. So Well, I'm glad she finally turned that camera so I can see what's going on back here. Okay, so Kristen said, I want to know why media needs to leave. Doesn't make sense. Well, they're telling them to leave because they don't want media to get pepper sprayed or shot with a rubber bullet.
It's much of the same, Kelsey. I will say that every time they come on and make the announcements, all of these cars that are in the shopping center parking lot over here start honking. They clearly do not like the announcement telling them to leave. What we're wondering could be happening soon here is it's possible they come down some of these alleys on the side here and maybe try and close in and arrest the stragglers that are left. You can see the demonstrators who are still out here holding up signs, and they are forming more of a line than what we saw maybe half an hour ago, or what really was just a few of them out there in the street. So unclear what the next moves are. What we saw last night is they really just let them, once it got down to small numbers like this, they just held their line. Law enforcement held their line and let them stand here and wore them out, for lack of better terms.
Kristen said no, they told the media where to go last night. They are just saying that media needs to disperse.
That's correct, Randy. They are just standing around. They're shouting things at the State Patrol. And then there are the horn honks that I was talking about. As soon as they make that announcement, they start honking their horns.
So they're trying to drown out the message from the state troopers with the horns and all that good stuff.
Obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime. Media and press, leave the area and disperse to the north.
Sure, Kelsey, it was quite chaotic around the 9 o'clock hour. It was about 8:50 when we saw protesters throwing more and more objects over the fence to the Brooklyn Center Police Department at those National Guard members holding the line. And shortly thereafter, we saw a huge line of State Patrol troopers in riot gear come down Humboldt and started telling protesters and media to move north. So they pushed us north of the Brooklyn Center Police Department, and they gave several warnings over their loudspeaker, and after several warnings, they started letting off flashbangs first, and after the flashbangs didn't deter the crowd, didn't disperse the crowd, they started letting off those chemical irritants and moving forward. At one point, they were able to form a barrier, move in quickly and form a barrier and capture some of those demonstrators and make arrests. We did see a large bus come in within the last hour, presumably to load up those individuals who will be cited and take them off to be booked.
Kristen said they told media.
It was a very chaotic scene, Kelsey, and just being here.
She's killing me.
Being here on the scene,
Kristen
trying to
said
stay
they
as
told
safe as
media to go
possible,
to
but
Pump
we also
and
know we have an important
what is
job
that?
to
March
show our
Munch
viewers each
last
other
night.
what's actually
They aren't
happening
saying where
here
to
on the
go
front
tonight.
lines. And we inhale the pepper spray. We get those
Well,
chemical
the way I figure it, I
as
think they're
well,
trying
and
to.
it's quite
I think they want
uncomfortable. So
the media
it does
to
work.
disperse
after
because
they started letting off those
they don't
chemical
want them
irritants, you do
to
lose a lot
be
of demonstrators because
in the
it's not
chaos when it
pleasant.
goes down.
So
So
but
they're
what
trying
we're
to
left
give
with
them a
now
warning,
is,
like, hey, we're about to start to.
several
We're
dozen,
gonna,
and then you also hear
use
that
tear
there are
gas.
people
We're
in their
gonna
cars in
use
that parking lot across
pepper
from us.
balls. You guys need to get out of here. That's what I'm getting out of it.
Building a fire. They're building a fire over there.
One of the reporters sound like, or the cameraman maybe, I think he said that. Oh yeah, they're gonna put something on fire. Yep, they're getting ready to start a fire here. So now it might start to get a little bit crazy now. Now the state troopers might.
That's our assumption as well.
The state troopers might want to start doing some arrests and whatnot real soon, because once that fire gets started, it's a wrap. Like the protesters are about to get rowdy here real quick. Kristen said, yeah, it took a young man who was pouring his heart out to the state police. It was so sad. What he was saying was so true and not disrespecting them at all. Just poured his heart out. Sad. Wow, okay.
Minnesota State Patrol, you're in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you'll be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and/or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be.
They're giving that warning again. And Denise, you're saying kind of the same thing I'm thinking. They want the media out of the way when arresting, as they don't arrest the media, is what I thought as well.
Leave the area, disperse to the north.
So the protesters don't sound like they give a damn about what the state troopers are saying about dispersing. So they got that fire lit. They're chilling. They have no fear. They're standing their ground. So
There's not much that they missed, Randy, so I would say that they are well aware of what's happening down here. The interesting thing is that there are some cars of demonstrators that are parked in the road here. You can see this pickup truck here with the yellow flashing lights. That's a car that's with the demonstrators, so I don't know what happens with the cars that are parked. There's several here, as you heard them honking every time that announcement comes on. So the fire is behind that truck, and there's a couple other cars, so I don't know what the play is to move through those cars. And there's also several cars that just recently, Brian, pan over there into the parking lot, please. There's several cars that are setting up. Okay, they're moving. Here we go. Arrests are coming. All right.
Uh-oh. Here it goes. They're moving in.
Yeah. Yep. I'm sorry, I'm here.
Denise said last night they would direct media where to go so that they could still film, but we're out of the way. No protesters don't listen at all. Yep, they are moving in heavy, you guys. Like I said, once that fire got started, they knew that it was time to break that protest up, because it'll get more rowdy. They're pushing them back.
Yeah, they're telling us to move. We're running as fast as we can.
I would love to see media get arrested. They're yelling at her like get out of here. So they want media out of there too.
Okay, there, for a long while here, we weren't sure what the play was going to be with so much empty parking lot surrounding, but it's clear that they came in from the sides, as I predicted they may, from those alleyways, and they've been able to now block some of these protesters in. The problem was that some of those cars got out, but Brian, can you just turn around
That's
and
what
show
that's
how
what I thought they were gonna do
vehicles have
was
blocked
block them in, like I
this north end
said.
of Humboldt here?
Come
So,
from the back to the side.
They were waiting. They were biding their time.
Yep.
And I maybe it was the fire. We can't say, but they eventually said that's enough, and they closed in on the other side. They came in through the alleys, and they're gonna start making some arrests here. It looks like they also probably got some cars that were inside that parking lot. Yeah, we're standing here next to a SWAT vehicle, a sheriff's office SWAT vehicle here at the north end of Humboldt, in between two gas stations. And we can see that they are making some arrests. They've got some individuals on the ground. Brian, can you come up here just a bit? And they've got at least one demonstrator on the ground here. Look, this is a great example, Randy. These agencies are watching closely, so whether you see them or not, they know every vantage point. They have a plan, and they executed that plan in the last 5 minutes, and they're putting an end to this tonight.
Yeah, I figured they were going to do that. Once I seen that bus come, Denise said last night they towed cars that were left behind after the police ran off protesters from parking lots.
There's several of these, Randy. There's also beyond them. Okay, it looks like they might be letting, I can't tell, they might be letting them go, or they might be walking them over to a staging area where they're going to process individuals. But in the parking lot there, you can see they've also got a car. So, like I said, there were a lot of cars in that parking lot, and a lot of those cars we saw tried to exit the parking lot once this line moved in on them. But they were blocked at the end. They probably couldn't see. They were blocked by SWAT and sheriff's vehicles that closed off the north end of Humboldt here. So,
Kristen said that maneuver they did is called, you said that's pump and munch?
Some of these demonstrators.
Okay. Interesting. Let's see what else we got. Denise said almost looks like a repeat of last night. Same gas station.
I'm good.
Kristen said, yeah, I saw that long line of tow trucks come in late.
100%, we're good.
Oh, wow, okay. It is a gas station name, LOL.
Well, just, hey, ask Kelly, are we doing an okay job?
Kellering. How the hell do you say it? That's a tongue twister.
Thanks.
Kettling. Or whatever. But is that what they call that, Denise? Man, media is out there, man. I can't believe they're out there this long.
What percent? 2.
Ryan? We're biding our time here. We have 2% battery on the live view.
Uh-oh.
battery I changed. There's nothing else I can do.
Yeah, there's no extra.
Rounding people up from all sides is what Denise is saying. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought they were going to do when I seen those state troopers jump on that bus.
Yeah, south of the precinct. Behind it. Yeah. Hopefully we can get you back there. That's close back there right now, so yeah. Still work. But if yeah, if you would try to get outside of our perimeter, please, we would greatly appreciate that. You see that right there. Hey, let's see if you see any sort of outlet I can plug into. Okay.
So they're scrambling for power. It looks like the media is down to like 2%. So now they're scrambling to plug in somewhere.
You don't want us in here? No. Where did you come from? Well, yeah. No, we came from way back. We've been here all night. Go back around this way, please. Yeah, thank you guys.
Electricity on that thing, do they? No? No, nothing you can plug into. Oh, come on, military. Give me some AC. They're like back in
Kristen, I'll check that link out in a minute. I kind of want to see what's going to happen here on this feed, but they might have lost their feed. Looks like it's buffering. So let me see. Let me check out your Unicorn Riot feed and see what's going on with that.
I don't think anybody broke into it. Looks like they're gonna push this crowd further.
Come here.
So now we're watching Unicorn Riot.
It's nothing but media over here, pretty much. Right, they're moving, so I'm starting to move. Yeah.
Kristen said that was the daycare. What do you What do you mean by that? Did they set it on fire or something? What do you mean that was the daycare? I think I must have missed something that happened, I guess. No, I didn't watch many live feeds last night. Why? What happened? What did I miss?
Here comes National Guard with shields.
Uh-oh. They are definitely looking like they are starting to move in with the shields, National Guard. So now we got the state troopers on one side, National Guard on another. This is a interesting viewpoint. See, I like it when streamers move the camera around. I don't know why media, they just leave the camera in one spot.
I don't think any
like
protesters are left over here.
Like when I'm streaming, I like to move the camera around so you can see all angles. Denise said last night was pretty much the same, except there was a lot of looting.
We're here live in Brooklyn Center. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. Unicorn Riot's a 501c3 educational nonprofit organization. We do more than just live stream. We do investigations, documentaries, trial coverage of the Chauvin trial, as well as a lot of other things. Check us out on the internet, unicornriot.ninja. Check out our Twitter feed, UR_ninja, Facebook and YouTube. Looks like they might be walking. No, those are other National Guard members.
Kristen said in that parking lot is a daycare and the dollar store. The dollar store was looted last night. The alarm is from the daycare now. Oh, wow. Okay. Thanks for clarifying that, giving us an update on that information.
Again, Kim Potter is a police officer who killed Daunte Wright. She was a 26-year vet. She had been a police officer longer than Daunte Wright had been alive. There's National Guardsmen.
Well, that's a good point he just made.
Truck.
Kim Potter, the police officer who shot Daunte Wright, she has been an officer longer than he has actually been alive. And what baffles me is that with someone on the force that as long as her, how she made that mistake of pulling a gun instead of a taser. I'm still trying to figure out how that mistake was ever even made.
This is the third day of protest for Daunte Wright. Again, Kim Potter, as I was saying, she's a 26-year vet of the Brooklyn Center Police Department, and she's also a training officer. She is the officer that Thanks. Hold on one second.
I don't know, you guys. Don't look like they made a whole lot of arrests to me. They're kind of just standing around, so I don't know what they're really doing. Looks like he's got to switch out his SD card here.
All right.
Denise said, I didn't understand why she even got involved, as the other cop looked like he was cuffing him just fine until she moved in. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's like when you get too many hands in a pot is when mistakes happen. She should have just stayed in her lane. I mean, she got involved, got all nervous and freaking out and messed around and pulled the wrong weapon. And
now the screen flips, and now I can
you know,
see
like
what
you
I'm
said, she should have just stayed in her lane and everything would have been all good.
So here in the back distance area is a bunch of police and other authorities figures, and they have buses. Looks like they might continue to hold their line here, but this officer in the middle is walking and talking to every single person. So he's giving them some kind of order. I'm not positive what the order is at this point. The officers are, that is with the person with the flashlight right there, that is a shooter. I call him a shooter because he has a gun with 40mm marker rounds and other such less lethal, quote unquote, munitions that the police have been shooting out here in Brooklyn Center.
Yeah, Chris, and I was aware she was training another
time
cop.
For curfew at this point. It might be 10 o'clock.
So, yeah, she should have probably focused on the training and not gotten involved like she did.
No, if it's 11 o'clock.
She lost focus and made a huge
signal.
mistake. So, yeah, that's crazy. That she was training another cop. It's unbelievable.
I think one of the neighborhood reporter has two folks. The gentleman from neighborhood reporter was, I think, detained for a while or had to been split up from the other partner of neighborhood reporter. But I think they're getting back together, hopefully in a minute, after being departed from the mad police rush that happened. And we're sort of just at this point of nothingness, where we sort of were before the police.
He said nothingness.
The crowd had sort of matriculated a little bit deeper when the police hadn't made their move, or the troopers hadn't made their move. And so what you saw just about 10, 15 minutes ago was the police making their move along with the coordination of other officers moving on this block, 69th, I believe.
Denise said, I'm afraid of what is to come as the Chauvin trial is going to be wrapping up, and now this. I see lots of trouble. I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, I wonder how they're going to do this
The
because...
guardsmen that were over here on their mission to go
Let me
forward
turn this
up the
down a
block
little bit.
have just been standing there. There's nothing really to do. This is very much overkill, if you ask
Tomorrow
me.
they're supposed to, I
Very
guess,
low amount of
announce
people,
that
a lot
they're
of
going to
press.
be
There's
prosecuting
probably
that
about 30
police
more
officer,
people that have matriculated during
what
the
is
time
it? Kimberly
that the
Parter?
police hadn't made their further moves, and then they
So,
kettled
yeah.
everybody.
I think
They did
tomorrow they're going to
allow
have an
some to
answer
get
on that, and if they aren't going to charge her, I'm afraid to see what is going to happen. People are not going to be happy if she's not charged, I'm thinking. So I'm wondering how this is going to play out.
I think that's National Guard. It's hard to tell from my vantage point. You can probably see better on your TV screen. If it is, I believe it's could be that 34th Infantry. I'm really not sure. Sometimes state troopers have the state trooper SWAT have camouflage uniforms. And other Anoka County, or Anoka SWAT, and some of the other ones have those types of camo uniforms, so sometimes hard to tell if they're National Guard or if they're other officers.
I don't know, you guys. I don't see a whole lot happening as far as them trying to really make a lot of arrests or anything. So I think their main goal is to just get people to go home.
So again, if you're just joining us, this was a protest for Daunte Wright. So they're moving the barricade up to this line. It's filled with officers.
Denise said they are already protesting in Portland, Oregon, and many other cities because of this one. Oregon isn't showing live streaming, but today the news showed the damage from last night. Oh my goodness! Wow, I didn't know Portland did some damage last night.
Only 3 on
some
the
looting.
east side, maybe 2 on the side.
I had
and
no
one on the
idea.
back. It looked like it didn't fill them. They didn't fill all the sidebars with them. But they've now pretty much heavily fortified this corner. Then they're just going to secure it for a few hours, is my guess, and then they'll release the area back to the residents who live here. There was not a lot going on tonight. There was small projectiles thrown at officers and some other people who were ready to defend themselves with umbrellas and shields, because the police continue to use a lot of munitions.
No, Jamie, I think Betty's in Seattle.
But there was a lot of police action tonight. Quite a few arrests.
Denise said, oh yes, they damaged a church pretty bad. Wow, they went for a church? Of all things. Wow, okay.
This is only one corner. There's also 3 or 4 other corners that the police are at, I believe. Just so much officers. If you go to our Twitter handle, UR_ninja, you'll probably see some video that shows one of their staging areas at Earl Brown Center. Again, Earl Brown was a KKK member. He's basically the founder of this city. Sundown towns aren't only in the South. Minnesota's got a very racist past. And you can see it embodied in its police institutions who...
Wow, he just said Minnesota has a very racist
Daunte Wright.
past.
A lot of people say that Kim Potter, who killed him, who was a training officer of 26 years on the force, did not act in a mistake fashion. That the actions taken by Kim Potter that killed Daunte Wright should be charged with murder.
Wow. It's interesting. I want to know, how they're going to charge her. A lot of people don't believe it was a
Kim
mistake.
Potter was also part of the cover-up after Kobe Heisler was killed by Brooklyn Center police in 2019, I believe.
Wow. They said she was
spoke
part of
to
a cover-up.
Kobe's mother and heard from also other family members of his numerous times here in the last couple of years. If you type in Kobe Heisler, HeislerKobe was his first name, and Unicorn Riot into Google, you can find some of our articles and videos where we heard from his mother and other family members. And then also just do your research into him. Autistic, killed by police during a mental health crisis or a mental health call, and they were actually called and told not to come. They chose to come anyway.
Well, Denise said that if they don't send her to prison, she better
Daunte Wright
leave
was
the
pulled
country.
over on a traffic violation.
What do you guys think about that?
Potter,
What do the
26
rest
years
of you
back.
think? Do you think
Trainer.
they should charge her?
Thought said she
for
thought
the
she was
sake
pulling
of
a taser on him. Shot him and killed him.
Minneapolis?
20 years old.
Or what? What's your
People have
thoughts?
come out to protest. They've been met with a lot of violence by the police. There's been some projectiles that has been thrown at the police in the past. Not in the past, a lot in the last few days, in response. Got distracted by the gentleman who walked up and just got shown the light right away and just walked back. So we're here on 69th Avenue. This is the scene off 69th Ave. I'm not sure direction which way we are at this point, but the police station is in front of us to the left about 3-4 blocks. Sort of a strip mall on the left side, police station on the right, 66 or 67th in Humboldt. Right now we're on 69th. So yeah, 3 blocks. So you can go to our website for more on also the training that these folks receive. Those folks on the front
Jamie
office
says she has got to go to
on the
prison.
first line was conservation officers, DNR, Department of Natural Resources, as well as state troopers.
So
the other
Jamie,
funny thing about the DNR,
you pretty much think she should just go to prison.
I believe, so you can go to our website as well.
What do you think?
check
First degree murder,
a story
second
out
degree, third degree?
that
What do you
Sam
think?
Richards, contributor, did
she might
on
get charged
munitions
with.
that were bought and brought, I think, by a DNR plane, if I can remember right, during one of the heights, second or third day of, maybe the third or fourth day of the George Floyd uprising. Here in Minneapolis, the police ran out of munitions and they needed to order more. And the DNR allowed them to use their plane to drive to fly to Wyoming, Casper, Wyoming, or something like that, to where they could get more munitions, and they came back with so much. Sam Richards was able to discover that in FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act, records requests that we are all allowed to file.
Denise said it just might charge her to
Right now,
save
we know that this
Minneapolis.
is, I think,
And
the
that's
West
what I was
Central
thinking.
Command structure,
Oh.
I think is what it's called.
Let's see what else you got here.
part
But
of
it's hard to
Operation
believe
Safety
she
Net,
could make such a
which the
mistake.
police
When you
created
heard about the
in
taser
the
being
aftermath of
yellow
George
and how
Floyd.
long she had it pointed at him.
And they
I mean, that's
created
what
it
I'm saying.
because they
That's why a
really
lot of
lost
people
all
are
control of the
saying that
metro
it wasn't a
area,
mistake.
my understanding.
I mean, the
That's why one
taser
of the
has
reasons why
a
they created
huge
it.
yellow handle.
And
then
to
Jamie
protect,
brought up a good point earlier that you have to take the safety off the gun to
their corporate
shoot
interest
it.
and their private interests
So she took the safety
and
off.
property.
The gun,
because
she had to
you
know
can
it
see
was a
by
gun.
the way that they police these.
So many questions as
protests
to how
and
this
whatnot.
mistake was made, if it was even a
They do
mistake.
not talk to the community.
And like I said, a lot of people
They
don't
shoot
think
at the
this was a
community,
mistake.
and then they protect their property. So in this case, they shoot at the community, and the community is seeking justice for Daunte Wright, or grieving for Daunte Wright, and also traumatized by another police murder that now everybody saw on video because they did release a video. But the point is, sorry, I just got totally distracted by the police light flashing and some of the people that were in the periphery. So, back to the point. Can't remember what it exactly was, but we'll go back to talking about the field force training manuals. The field force training manuals are available on our website, unicornriot.ninja, and they have a lot of information as to how these folks get trained. We were talking about the Line 3 training a minute ago, or Line 3. DNR and the state troopers combined for Operation Northern Lights Task Force, or something. Excuse me, it was the Northern Lights Task Force. They all trained together along with northern Minnesota counties, sheriff departments, and whatnot. They trained together.
Denise said I might be
to
able to see
combat
a mistake if she
the
was a
resistance to
rookie.
Line 3 pipeline,
But
which is a
26
tar sands oil
years,
pipeline
and
that's
she
getting
has a
put through
tainted history.
northern Minnesota, sort of as
Yeah,
we speak. Construction sort
that's
of on
true. I
hold
mean, 26
for,
years
I
on the
think another
force.
2 months because of
And you don't know a
the
taser from a
seasons
gun. We got a
change,
real
and
problem here.
It's not right for them to work underground.
As far as
or
her
whatnot.
tainted history, I don't
There's
know a
there's
whole
delay
lot
period. So,
about that.
The reason
I know that
why I
this
bring that
guy
up is
that's
because, again,
shooting this stream right now,
we were able to find out
he said
information
that
from
she
FOIA
was
requests
part of a cover-up
of Operation
of a
Northern Lights, or of
killing
the
of
Northern Lights
a,
Task
I
Force.
believe she said or he said
We've
someone
had a
with
lot of
mental
extensive
health
coverage
issues
on Line 3
or
Resistance as well.
autistic.
Go to our website, you can check that
So
out.
I don't know. I
You can
have
check
to
it out
do
on
a
the front
little bit of
page if you
research
go
on
down a
that.
little bit and go to Line 3 Resistance. That's sort of a landing page for a lot of the articles.
Yeah,
Again, it's
he's,
related in the sense that
he
the
does have a
police
lot of good
interaction with the
information, is what
community,
he's saying here.
as we were talking about with Daunte Wright, after he got murdered, the police's interaction with the community was to meet with them with violence and to not talk to them, sort of as we were talking about as well with the George Floyd uprising. After the George Floyd uprising started, within the first week, the police started to create this new plan, or within, very recent time after the George Floyd uprising started, the police created Operation Safety Net. I think it's in its third or fourth phase. Yeah, third phase, excuse me. I think there's 4 phases. The 4th phase is them leaving. So the 3rd phase is exercising maximum. I could be wrong. I'm talking about this on the fly without doing the quick research real quick. But this is from off my head, and I think this is right. I think there was 4 phases of Operation Safety Net. The 4th phase is them leaving. The 3rd phase is probably what they've just activated very recently. I think yesterday or the day before. And that they were supposedly going to activate 3rd phase, which is a huge police force. It's showing a huge police force when the verdict of the when the verdict of the Derek Chauvin trial is going to be announced. And so basically we're now in the 3rd phase where it's a very large police presence. Right now they're focused out here in Brooklyn Center. They're all across sort of the West Metro and Minneapolis. St. Paul was hit with a curfew. I think they have other police forces as well out in St. Paul. From my understanding, there was going to be 1,000 to 3,000 National Guard that were sent into the cities to be stationed in front of government installations and other corporate institutions. We saw them on our way in various spots. They were on Lake Street, 31st, by TCF Bank, protecting that. I'm not really sure if they were protecting it or what, but it seems like they're just like put in locations where they can protect businesses at this point. Yesterday or the day before, they were uptown protecting a lot of businesses uptown, or I shouldn't say protecting, but sitting in front of the businesses. And so it looks like they're stationed, the National Guard has been stationed to protect the private interests of the corporations. And so it's
very interesting information he's just talking
that's
about.
basically what it is. Some folks, locals getting pictures. Sorry, bro. Forgot my light was on. Some locals getting pictures.
Why'd they do it, man?
Why'd they kill him? You want to talk? I'm live right now.
Hey, man, we out here, man. We just wondering.
You film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just wondering why they do it. I'm just curious, man, why they do it. It don't make no damn sense. What is it fun for them, man? We just curious why they do it. Why y'all do it?
That's real though. Fuck 12, man. They bogus as hell.
Man, fuck 12. They killed my cousin, man. Fuck that fat ass nigga. Fuck that little short ass nigga. Fuck all these niggas. Fuck National Guard. On phone now.
Why they do it?
Right. It's not even just why do they do it. It's why do they keep getting away with the shit. This shit why they keep doing this shit, and they keep on thinking that it's all cool, and it's not cool at all. Like, what they're doing, they need to be held accountable. Shut the fuck up. Each and every person this is real shit, though. Each and every person need to be held accountable. All of you guys, y'all know this shit is wrong. If y'all stand for this, fuck y'all. Some of y'all, not all of y'all is like that, but for the ones that is, fuck y'all.
Thank you.
Man, they snapping. They snapping. Denise said police need to stop with all these traffic stops that are not in endangering the public.
The police move
Too many
forward.
stops for outdated tags or 5 miles
Very
over the
menacing
speed
looking
limit.
officers standing there with their guns.
That's a valid argument right there, valid point, that a lot of these stops are petty. I mean, they're petty stops and they're ending in someone getting killed. And it's ridiculous. It just needs to stop. It's a waste of life, and it's petty. It's profiling for the most part. I think it's just flat out profiling. So if they stop doing that, maybe we can get less people being killed during a traffic stop. I mean, it's a shame that somebody can walk into a mall and shoot random people and walk out alive.
From the local folks
But
right
yet
there real
you
quick.
can't
They actually
walk
can
out
run
alive from a traffic stop.
They just ran a little bit.
It's crazy.
So, again, as the police
get
were
it.
clearing this area, they took a lot of cars because a lot of the people were trying to leave in their cars. The police actually smashed out windows of cars. I did not see that. I heard it. I do not know verification if that happened, but it sounds like something that would happen based on past experience of police interactions during these times of protest. And now you see Cardinal tow truck repair, or tow truck, two of them have pulled up to get some of the cars that were where people were arrested from or detained from. And so Cardinal's working with, I don't know if they're working with, but they're here to pick up the vehicles. Quick recap, if you're just joining, this is Nico from Unicorn Riot. Thank you, Chris, for running the back end, and for other folks, and you are for helping out, Dan and other folks. We do have continuing ongoing Chauvin trial coverage that happens in the morning, 8 or 9 a.m. every single day. Continue to follow that. Continue to follow our work at unicornriot.ninja, Twitter, UR_ninja, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo, as well as Instagram, unicorn.riot. We will be continuing to try to bring you the happenings here in Minneapolis area, as well as others across the globe. Check out our website for a new report from Brazil. And we'll have some other new reports about Daunte Wright and the situation, the ongoing situation here in Brooklyn Center area upcoming. So continue to follow our work. We're going to take the stream down. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. Again, thank you, Chris. Thank you, all of you all, for continuing to share our work, donating to us because that's the only way we are able to operate. We are a 501c3 educational nonprofit. One second. Take the mic out of my ear. We are educational nonprofit, 501c3 educational media nonprofit, and what we do is we try to bring context to social and environmental struggles. We have a lot of investigations, documentaries, articles, videos, live streams, and the whatnot. Check out our website. We do also have one of the largest databases of white supremacist organizers' chats from Charlottesville and beyond. Again, we're trying to bring context to a lot of these issues when it comes to also police killings and police brutality. And police accountability. So continue to follow our work. We are also
Denise said profiling for sure. I live in a pretty much white area,
and the community
small
reaction from that.
Coastal town. My son is one half Portuguese and looks Mexican.
Provide coverage from the surroundings
gets
after
stopped
George
a lot.
Floyd has been killed.
He has
which is
even
coming up
gotten
on a
stopped
year.
riding his
George Floyd
bicycle.
Square
He's
continues
40.
to stand, and people
Wow.
continue to gather there
That's
and
crazy.
to use it as a healing space and a sacred space. And we heard
sad,
earlier, was it today or yesterday? Yesterday from Mylisha, who's a mainstay over at George Floyd Square after the vigil for Daunte Wright. Everybody's out here for Daunte Wright. He was a 20-year-old killed by police. Kim Potter, she was a 26-year vet for the Brooklyn Center Police Department. She is the head of the police union. She has also helped to cover up Kobe Heisler's murder here in Brooklyn Center. You also heard from a family member of Daunte Wright, who is also almost the exact same name, killed 10 years ago by the Brooklyn Center Police. Here today, you heard that. You heard from her talking while the police were about to make their moves. What you saw on this stream was unlawful assemblies being called at the police department in Brooklyn Center, where people had stood together to protest for justice for Daunte Wright and against the police killing by Kim Potter. The police called unlawful assemblies, used chemical munitions and other 40mm marker rounds and whatnot. They actually shot me. One second.
He's actually giving out a lot of good information about
With the 40mm marker round, it is not about me, but it is about the way that the police are interacting with the
everything
community.
that's going on.
So again, thank you for tuning in to allow us to bring you what the police are doing and allow us to bring you voices from the community. The last thing, the police rushed everybody. They had an operation where they also had these other officers that you sort of see in the distance and in the peripheries on the right side.
Denise said,
and the
my
straight,
son, thank God, is very
up to the
polite
left.
and has only
They came
gotten
up on
tickets
69th, tried to kettle
for come
everybody.
on being
A lot of people
stopped
got away.
riding his bicycle.
And
Just to ask where's he going, no ticket. Wow. Yeah, I mean, even here in Racine, or not here, I'm in Milwaukee right now, but in Racine, we had that same, we had an incident like that. Tyrese West, who was riding his bicycle and was shot and killed.
Okay, so yeah, again,
by
continue
the,
to follow our
police.
work. What you saw at the
I believe
end
it
was the
the
police just rush in.
Mount Pleasant Police
State troopers
Department.
pull down, go down
with the
69th
officer Eric Geese.
Go up 69th.
And he was shot.
Excuse me, go up Humboldt to
shot in the head
69th,
like twice.
And these officers come down
He was
69th
a kid. He was
to Humboldt.
I don't think he was even
Seems like
19.
the police officers are
all he was doing was
using,
riding his bike and did not make it home that
Earl
night.
Brown
So,
Center as a staging
again,
ground
profiling
for the West
and
Central Command.
nonsense.
We will see how long this continues to last. It looks like the police forces are going to be beef as this for the next few days at least, and possibly into the verdict of this Derek Chauvin trial, which is possibly looking at next week. So we're Tuesday night here in Minneapolis or in Brooklyn Center. This was Nico reporting for you live. Thank you, Chris, for running the back, and thank you all for being out there. As I was talking about with the nonprofit status, we have that status 501c3, and so that allows all of you to donate tax deductibly. So if you have financial privilege and you like our work and you don't want to just share our work and you want to actually contribute, you can contribute tax deductibly. So again, thank you all for tuning in. We're going to take a stream down and continue to document out here and throughout the city. Check out our Twitter feed, UR_Ninja, for possibly more updates through the night. Have a good night, you all.
Okay, looks like they are signing out. They are out of here. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and sign out as well, because I don't see. It looks like the crowd is starting to detour. People looks like they're going home. They're not making any arrest or anything like that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here as well here. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this stream. You guys go ahead and follow Raw Topic if you already have not on YouTube and Facebook, Twitch. If you're on Facebook, you can use the command !notify, and you guys will be notified the next time I go live on Facebook. So thanks again for watching, you guys. I will see you guys really soon. I want to do the trial, so maybe, I don't know, maybe tomorrow I'll react to the trial. I'll do a little reaction video and we can watch the trial. So we'll see how I'm feeling in the morning, and maybe we can do that. So until the next time, you guys, let me get rid of that there. Until the next time, good night, Jamie. See you later. Good night, Denise, and everyone else that's been engaging and watching. And remember, you guys, if you can't come real, at least come raw. Raw Topic, you guys. Peace out.
Perfect.